Four components of NVC: observations, feelings, needs, requests. For example, a mother might express these three pieces to her teenage son by saying, Felix, when I see the two balls of soiled socks under the coffee table and another three next to the TV, I feel irritated because I am needing more order in the rooms that we share in common. She would follow immediately with the fourth component, a very specific request. Would you be willing to put your socks in your room or in the washing machine? This fourth component addresses what we are wanting from the other person that would enrich our lives or make lives more wonderful for us. Thus, part of NVC is to express these four pieces of information very clearly, whether verbally or by other means. The other part of this communication consists of receiving the same four pieces of information from others. We connect with them by sensing what they are observing, feeling, and needing. Then we discover what would enrich their lives by receiving the fourth piece, their request. As we keep our attention focused on the areas mentioned and help others do likewise, we establish a flow of communication, back and forth, until compassion manifests naturally. What I am observing, feeling, and needing, what I am requesting to enrich my lives, what you are observing, feeling, and needing, what you are requesting to enrich your life. NVC process: the concrete actions we observe that affect our well being, how we feel in relation to what we observe, the needs, values, desires, etc., that create our feelings. The concrete actions we request in order to enrich our lives. When we use this process, we may begin either by expressing ourselves or by empathetically receiving these four pieces of information from others. Although we will learn to listen for and verbally express each of these components in chapters 3 to 6, it is important to keep in mind that NVC is not a set formula, but something that adapts to various situations as well as personal and cultural styles. While I conveniently refer to NVC as a process and language, it is possible to experience all four pieces of the process without uttering a single word. The two parts of NVC: 1. Expressing honestly through the four components. 2. Receiving empathetically through the four components. The essence of NVC is in our consciousness of the four components, not in the actual words that are exchanged. Applying NVC in our lives and world. When we use NVC in our interactions with ourselves, with another person, or in a group, we become grounded in a natural state of compassion. It is therefore an approach that can be effectively applied at all levels of communication and in diverse situations. Intimate relationships, families, schools, organizations and institutions, therapy and counseling relationships, diplomatic and business negotiations, disputes and conflicts of any nature. Some people use NVC to create greater depth and caring in their intimate relationships. When I learned how I receive, hear, as well as give through using NVC, I went beyond feeling attacked and doormatish to really listening to words and extracting their underlying feelings. I discovered a very hurting man to whom I had been married for 28 years. He had asked me for a divorce the weekend before the NVC workshop. To make the long story short, we are here today together, and I appreciate the contribution NVC has made to our happy ending. I learned to listen for feelings, to express my needs, to accept answers that I didn't always want to hear. He is not here to make me happy, nor am I here to create happiness for him. We have both learned to grow, to accept, and to love, so that we can each be fulfilled. A workshop participant in San Diego, California. Others use it to build more effective relationships at work. I have been using NVC in my special education classroom for about 1 year. It can work even with children who have language delays, learning difficulties, and behavior problems. One student in our classroom spits, swears, screams, and stabs other students with pencils when they get near his desk. I cue him with, please say that other way. Use your giraffe talk. Giraffe puppets are used in some workshops as a teaching aid to demonstrate NVC. He immediately stands up straight, looks at the person towards whom his anger is directed, and says calmly, would you please move away from my desk? I feel angry when you stand so close to me. The other students might respond with something else like, sorry, I forgot it bothers you. I began to think about my frustration with this child and tried to discover that I needed from him. Besides harmony and order, I realized how much time I had put into lesson planning and how my needs for creativity and contribution were being short circuited in order to manage behavior. Also, I felt I was not meeting the educational needs of the other students. When he was acting out in class, I began to say, I need you to share my attention. It might take 100 cues a day, but he got the message and would usually get involved in the lesson. A teacher in Chicago, Illinois,